Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the midweek update. It's only Wednesday, but wow, what a week it has been so far for the swings. I'm not going to go over the swing winners. You know the list. We're running out of swing plays. There's so many of them doubling and tripling for us. But before we get to those plays, let's look at the Dow chart. And we're looking at the 1 hour chart here. I kept the notations I had for this weekend. We had a brief dip on Monday, and then, as has been the case, it's off to the races we go. And if we look over at the daily chart here, you can see we keep hanging around this 27K area, and what's holding us up here is enthusiasm for the stimulus bill. As I said, I thought that was going to be the one thing that was going to sell this market off at month end. We do have the Republicans doing a lot of infighting about what this stimulus bill is going to be. Although some of the news I've seen today is actually rather positive if they're able to get it out of those deals. The unemployment is going to come back. I would say it's going to be $300 a week, which is a nice chunk of change. I think the payroll tax deduction should be gone. That's the stupidest thing in the world, especially when you're trying to help the economy with 18 million with no jobs. And then they're also looking at another stimulus payment. I mean, right now, the GOP has a huge opportunity to buy this election and buy it legally by stuffing money into everyone's pocket going into the election. So let's see if they're smart, ignore the deficit like they should be, and start pumping some money out there. Now, if we get a deal, a decent deal in the next few days, that could see us break this 27,600 area before we probably see a sell the news reaction. But for now, we're kind of in a holding pattern, waiting to see what kind of deal there is. Now get ready. You're going to see big moves up and down in the market as they spread rumors on there being a deal or no deal. Remember how the market acted back when we had the China trade deal nonsense? We eventually got a deal, but it took a lot of back and forth of no deal, no deal. But anyway, let's jump into stocks. First stock we're going to talk about today is ADMP. We had a huge run on this one up to 123, and since that it's come back down over the last couple of days. We jumped into this one again today, and I've made this one of my largest swing holdings right now. And pretty much the reason I'm doing that is we're going to actually look at, let me find that chart here, the move that OGEN did recently. OGEN, when it broke out for us a week ago, ran all the way up to $1.32, and then had that big dip back and ended up trading into the 80s, consolidated, and then doubled here recently. So I'm looking for a similar move here on ADMP. We had that big run up on ADMP, and then since yesterday, we've kind of sold off. We came back to the 80s. It was an excellent dip point on this one. Remember, we are still waiting for news here. Every single one of these COVID plays that we thought news was going to come on, news came on. And the other thing I want to point out here as well, we're about to get a golden cross here. And this golden cross has been beautiful for many of these stocks in recent weeks. So we're about to get that. And we're actually going to look here. This is the weekly chart on ADMP. I pointed this out a little while ago when we were going to break that 75-cent area, and lo and behold, we went boom. 200-day moving average is at 275. Now, why do I bring up this weekly chart here? Because this is the weekly chart we looked at when we were looking at OGEN when it broke out at 80 cents, and we were looking for a move to $2 on the weekly chart. As I said, the same thing had happened last year on this one. A lot of people were like, "You're crazy." Well, this crazy trader, that target hit today on the open. So next up is ADMP. Let's see if we can get that big news to blow this one up as well. A couple other charts here. What am I seeing? We already went over this. Let's go over the next COVID play. DSS. We've got merger coming up in the next 2 weeks. This chart is coiled tight. This is a 1 hour chart. It is just coiled right here. $8 break, 8.15-ish chasing. RSI looks great. Stochastics in the basement. This is just a patience play until everyone decides, oh, it's time to buy this stock. And we know what happens when that actually does happen. JAGX is another, actually I should have adjusted this chart, I apologize here. This is the 1 hour chart, but over the last couple of days, we've just been going back and forth, waiting to break out here. Probably going to take a break through 80 to really set this one free. Now this is the daily chart pulled out for a 1-year time frame, and you can see we're just consolidating right here. We're holding above that 200-day moving average. 80 cents will probably end up being where they start to chase, and this is another one of these stocks. We are waiting for them to update their COVID-19 drug news. It's been 7 weeks now. That's a long time. That's usually about the time these stocks start really putting out the news on these COVID drugs. New swing play yesterday, AGE, AGEE. I'm not going to go over the research on this one, but we had a huge, it trades very, very thin. Huge pop up to 166, came all the way back down. RSI looks great. We're looking at this on the 1-hour time frame. Now, if we flip over to the daily chart, we broke through the 200-day moving average. This has been a very powerful moving average for upside moves on stocks recently. And when it blew through that 200-day moving average, what usually happens is the scanners go beep, beep, beep. Okay, FOMOS, time for you to chase. And lo and behold, they chased it to 166. Came all the way back down today, but it held above the 200-day moving average. That is bullish. Again, this is another stock that has COVID-19 vaccine news in the pipeline and coming. So we know what happens. We know there's news coming, but the scanner chasers don't. And when the scanners come out and start chasing this stock at $1.50, $2, we know why they're chasing, because there's probably COVID news out there. Want to make a quick mention here. One of the hot sectors, we're going to continue to play this sector over and over and over again, is the education, online education sector. Sorry, I didn't update this chart either. This is the chart I showed in the chat earlier, and you can see that 220 area is the spot. This is the 15-minute chart on Salami here. And we need Salami to bust out. These guys run teachertube.com. It is essentially Khan Academy trading publicly. That's all I need to say. If you've got students, you know what Khan Academy is. These guys do TeacherTube. Check it out. teachertube.com. Everything's going online now. Everyone's going online. There's going to be a big scramble for these kinds of stocks. If we look at the daily chart, that was that big move we had last week, but we are holding up fantastically here. Chart looks great. This sector is only starting. This is very, very early for all these stocks. I mean, look what HMHC did today when we jumped back into it. We jumped into this stock right after the open today at 202 to 205. They were chasing it later in the day at 275. 70-cent move on this one after the pullback. So these stocks are only beginning. Look what OBLG did. We could not give this stock away when we got into this swing 2 weeks ago, and today they were chasing it up 300%. Nothing changed from my research, but look at that. That golden cross ended up coming to fruition. Remember, we love these golden crosses. When the 50-day crosses through the 200-day moving average, I am all out of OBLG because I think the upside potential on Salami and some of the other ones that we're in is really, really big. Quick mention on SUNW. This is another swing we got into about a week and a half ago that just chopped back and forth, frustrated the hell out of everyone. I said, guys, this stock is a Tesla solar installer, period. That's all that matters. And today, boom, they were chasing this stock at 137. That's a 75% gain for us in a couple of weeks. Now, Tesla, monster earnings after hours. This stock got its first cross through the 200-day moving average today. So this is a pullback on any dips anywhere around this 200-day moving average. If it happens, but again, another fantastic win for us. And these guys had Tesla deals. The other one that went big today for us as well was CLSK. Remember this one? They confirmed they were with Tesla. Another monstrous 96% gains. Sorry, guys. I can only get us 96% gains on this one in a couple of weeks. I'll do better on the next play. Quick mention on some others, CHFS. I didn't update the notes, but if you draw the line up here, this one's still consolidating. These clowns have still not updated the news they gave us on that webinar a week ago. They told us in the Q&A 200 plus hospitals are using them. when they actually get around and get smart and issue that press release, this stock should go big. Now, speaking of the 200-day moving average and what we've been seeing on all the other stocks, it is holding above its 200-day moving average. It had that big spike up, came right back down to test it. The indicators look good. I would be very surprised if this stock hangs down here for much longer. They need to get this stock over $1. They've got no reverse split coming. Probably coiling to get ready for that press release to launch it. I jumped out of sequence here. AMBO was one I forgot to talk about in my weekend video. This is another online education play. $3 is the level to watch. We break 360 and 6 is what we're looking for on this one. Contact tracing, CSLT. Now, this is a highly manipulated stock. It reminds me a lot of PHUN, which coincidentally is also a contact tracing stock. Blew through the 200-day moving average like it didn't exist yesterday. Ran all the way up and then continued today up to 145 and then had one of those large, short, clown walk down fools. He walked it all the way back down, but we don't mind when they do that. Let's see how much lower they walk it down. This 200-day moving average should be rock solid. You know the research. Go look in the swing room for the DD on this one. It is locked and loaded. HTGM, I just wanted to make a quick note. Last Tuesday, everyone and their mom was crying, ooh, HTGM, oh my goodness, it's at 50 cents. What do I do? Yeah, today, a week later, they're chasing it at 80 cents, 60% gain. Be patient on these swings, guys. And these guys here haven't even put the press release out yet. So, and there's a 60% gain just on being patient on the swings. I keep saying it over and over. This is the best swing market since 1998-99. I'm telling you right now, guys, this swing market rocks. That's why everything is a swing. Quick mention on Gamble, Esports Entertainment. This has been locked in a very tight range here. Baseball starts this week. Sports betting is back. So these gambling stocks, Gamble, DraftKings, LCA, Hall of Fame, these are stocks to keep an eye on. Couldn't break that 650 yesterday, but we're about to get a positive MACD. Stochastics in the basement. 8+ whenever the big chaser rooms decide to jump onto this one. There's Hall of Fame's chart. This one looks great. This is going to be in a pick up shares tomorrow stock. Again, these kind of stocks, when they do these kinds of moves, when the volume comes in, they move up and then they bleed lower on lower volumes. Look at this buy volume right here. Big buy volume spikes up 50%. Itty bitty sell volume drops all the way back down. I love these kinds of setups. DPW. This was a monster move a week ago. Now, the electric car stocks were on fire today. The charging stocks, all except this one. You had Blink up big. You had Pola up big. Pola is one of our swing plays. DPW also is a charger play. It ran to 524 last week ahead of that charger news. There's a big time bunch of shorts in this stock holding it down. $3, they'll start to throw the towel in. But EV charging, that's all. You've got me on EV charging. I don't care if they do an offering. I'll buy more shares. EV charging, look at the values and the market caps of the other ones. This one is set up for a very nice move. Last stock I want to mention here is INUV. One of my favorite stocks for this year was along with UAVS. Big pop here intraday. We had Gucci in our chat room find that excellent research about the education site, education portal these guys had. Big pop, came all the way back down. Nice swing setup. I mean, it was one of those days today, guys, where things were popping up and then you had very large ass walk them down. So the shorts probably have grown a pair over the last few days, but when you have shorts in these stocks, that is ammo for squeezes. So keep that in mind. This stock is set up nicely. So we've got some nice plays for the rest of the week here. Remember, like the video, share the video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys all in the chat room tomorrow. Bye.